the sky.
He's the person I want to work with every day.
Patient, kind.
He makes me smile just thinking about him, actually.
Very witty, clever sense of humor.
It's very, very human.
Literally 5 minutes with Arnold Frank convinced me to leave my current job and start a whole new future.
Dana Mulligan, Assistant Principal, Woodland Regional High School. I've been here for 15 years.
My name is Nicholas Giannetti. I was a student here about 16 years ago, class of 2009.
Hi, I'm Michelle Papa. I'm an original Woodlander. Started here in 2001.
Hey, I'm Paul Geary.
Hi, I'm Lauren Letty.
Hi, I'm Chris Anderson. I am one of the founders, if you will, of Woodland High School.
How you doing? I'm George Myers. I helped open the school in 2001.
I'm Kyle Brennan, Woodland class of 2009 and the president of the Woodland Alumni Association.
My name is Mr. Magus. I am a Woodland teacher here and I've been at Woodland since 2008.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Loris Mose.
My name is Chris Mizuraka. I've been in the Fine Arts Department since the school opened in 2001.
If you wanted to turn and understand his legacy, you could talk to any of his former students, and I think that, where he was, kind to all, I think he had a soft spot for students who struggled and for students who were at risk, and really went out of his way to make sure that those students felt loved and that they felt like they had a chance of being successful. So you could probably ask in the community, and there'd be, anywhere you go in town, somebody would say to you, like, if it wasn't for Arnold, I wouldn't have graduated high school.
One of the things I admire the most about Dr. Frank as a leader is that even though we were technically still children, he treated us as burgeoning adults. And oftentimes that ends up being you're held accountable for your actions. But there's another side of that. There's respecting the person.
He wasn't afraid to share a piece of himself outside of professionalism. It's like we worked together, we lived together basically for 8 hours a day. We'd been at each other's houses. I think everybody had been to his house at one point or another in our career here. He really loved what he did. I think that's what's so important to remember about him. It's whatever he did for the best of his students, for our students.
Just always had time and sort of empathy for a lot of people who weren't like him. Like, he always kind of had the most kind of time and patience and empathy for the kids here at Woodland that, certainly weren't the type of kid that he was when he grew up,
He 100% wanted it to be a community. It's written community of learners and everything we have written. He wanted to be a community. He wanted to be like one student body, one faculty, and he really wanted the community to buy in. And people are always asking, like, for such a small school, only open 23 years, how do you have like that many state championships? And, even though he's not here, it's his legacy, it's the community buy-in, it's the parent buy-in, it's the teacher buy-in, it's the people he hired that created a culture that allows that to happen even 23 years later.
He was one of the guys too. So as a teacher here, I would go to him like in emergency, right? We're adults and, hey, Dr. Frank, I have to leave the building. I'm off this period. No problem, you do what you gotta do.
Probably a big thing that people should know about Arnold is that every kid deserves a second chance, a third, a fourth. You don't slam a door on a kid. And we had some kids, and you remember them as well, I'm sure. They would walk the halls and not do a damn thing. And Arnold would invite him in his office for a cup of coffee.
Whereas you saw some stories from other students who were homeless, who were dealing with drug issues. And to hear them tell the stories about how he made sure that they graduated high school and made sure that they had a safe place to come to every day. Like, that's the stuff that most people take for granted. And just to realize, like, he made sure that everybody had a chance. He put every bit of energy that he had into it. And I think that's why he had so much care. Like, he was at all the games, the plays, you know, dropping into classes. The door was always open in the office. That's not just from any old administrator. That's for someone whose complete effort went into this place.
He was the one that seeked out those kids to kind of build that relationship with them. And he really, that stood out to me because, you know, a lot of teachers don't always want those troublemakers in their classroom, but he was the one that kind of pulled them aside and pulled them out and really tried to develop that relationship with them.
He treated us with professionalism, and I really appreciated that.
I think that this was his baby. He knew that he had built this school from the ground up, and so, you know, we always talk about the Woodland way, but I think the Woodland way was his way of trying to instill in others that, you know, what our most important job is not just to raise students who had, you know, strength of academic content and who were going to be good students, but we wanted them to be good people more than anything.
You can see it every day. I mean, his impact on the people that are here now, you know, I see it in Dr. Mulligan and Mr. McKenzie and in Mr. Ogren. I think the lasting impact here is the community here at Woodland, you know, the family atmosphere here, that we lead with sort of kindness and empathy in the Woodland way.
That the Woodland way is a higher standard of behavior, like excellence, academics, athletics.
Woodland way is inviting. It's accepting everybody for who they are. We're not all the same. We're all cut from different fabric, and just a very encompassing, welcoming.
That he set for the Woodland way is he always saw this place as very culture driven. Like, he would explain how every staff member that he hired, from the time before the school opened until the very last hire, was all about what can you do for the culture at Woodland. And the Woodland way is all about not only student culture, but staff culture. It's about, you know, the sense of pride. Like, the Hawk Pride thing is not just a hashtag, is not just something you can yell. Like, it really is overall a guiding light of the school. And
It means being respectful, being a good person, being good to yourself and those around you, your community. Represent Woodland in everything you do in life.
It kind of is what we all aspire to be here at Woodland, you know, the community of learners and kind of coming together and having that like mutual trust and respect towards each other, whether it be faculty, staff, students. It kind of just brings us all together, and it's really, you know, our motto and what we kind of strive to be here at Woodland.
Coming from a school that didn't have an advisory program and then coming into the advisory program here really makes you understand what his philosophy and what his intent was in creating a daily advisory versus what a lot of schools do, which is not a daily. The whole object of it was that you had a person, you know, every kid was going to have a person, an adult that they could turn to. But I think even more than that, it goes to the idea of and I'm still responsible for the creating of advisories. We meet with the middle school, we talk about it, and we purposely make every advisory, for lack of a better comparison, a breakfast club.
I don't know that Woodland could be what it is today without Dr. Frank. He was very ahead of his times in terms of education. He had such belief in the advisory program.
First thing I noticed about the advisory program is that every single kid in school has one teacher who's looking after them. You know, lots of times, you know, if kids are quiet or, you know, they just kind of go about their day and they get the job done, they might fly under the radar, but you can't do that when there's an advisory program. So that was the first difference I noticed at Woodland between my old school, is that every kid has a teacher looking out for them for 4 years. It also enables the kids to have an adult to go to.
Dr. Frank was always a person you could go talk to, no matter what the issue was, no matter whether it was a great thing, a bad thing. He was always very accessible. And I think one thing that was very telling about him is when he started the advisory program, he wanted to have an advisory, and he always did. And most other schools that do an advisory program do not have administrators do advisory. And for right, wrong, or indifferent, but I think that made everybody buy into advisory, and to this day, that's why advisory remains not an afterthought here, it's a forethought because of the way that he wanted to connect to people.
But I remember having the story with him, and my husband's there, and he's telling me how he's trying to catch this bat from our house. We've had 3 bats, by the way. Catch this bat from our house. So Dr. Frank just starts laughing. He's like, oh, wait until I tell you my story. He was outside cleaning his gutters in his house, and he saw a bat come out, so he decided to take a hose and push the hose into the gutter. Bats flew out everywhere.
This was after his Parkinson's had sort of advanced a bit, and there were, some of the later visits he was sort of confined to a chair, or confined to a wheelchair. And you would think that would get somebody down, or it would be understandable if someone was in that position to just sort of be woe is me and sort of kind of turn their world inward. But, I was always struck by when we'd go see Dr. Frank, and even though he was in a chair, he still would, fill the room with discussion and curiosity and question.
We spent a lot of time together. My funniest memories of him are when he had to be principal and AD at the same time. So I was stranded a few times at some fields without buses.
Always remember him as a great leader, number one, and then again, delegating and allowing people to do their things and being down to earth and being a human being, not just your principal at the school. And he was just so genuine, like you could work a hard week and then, on Friday, maybe go to happy hour.
Just hang out in his office mornings before school would start. We talked about everything, any and everything. Rock concerts, the Allman Brothers, Bob Dylan, Stones, you name it.
Vividly remember going in his office, especially that first day, and seeing some of the album covers he had on his walls there. I still remember the Bob Dylan. He had the Grateful Dead, some other stuff. It's all music that I loved and enjoyed. So that was an instant connection. We talked about music, talked about books we had read, some of our life philosophies. So from that very first moment that I met him, I knew we had some kindred spirits kind of tied in together.
He pulled me aside and he actually apologized to me. I think that was like the first time ever I had an adult apologize to me. So it was definitely impactful.
You knew from the moment that you met him that he was a caring person. Like, you could just tell that this is somebody you wanted to be around. He had a warm spirit to him that I think that anybody within the first 5 minutes of having a conversation with him, then you knew that that's somebody that you enjoy your time with.
A lifetime of memories with him. I mean, he's the man that brought me to Woodland. So, I'll always cherish him and be grateful to him for that,
He could relate to you in so many different ways. When my twins were born, he really identified with that because we went through very similar experiences with our children.
But I'm lucky that I met him and I had his guidance at the time that I did, because it really helped my life for the better.
He was the best of the best. And I wish you were here at the time to see him, because you will never meet another administrator the way he was, like him.